we are here. So we have here one side, which is the deepest void of time in Sri Lanka. So from here, in the head, you have Buddha. And Buddha is the symbol of going to the void, of those who found the void, the divine inside. So in Tibet, the void of the being that is aware is creating a bridge through India to the void in space. So space and time are creating this void. This void is the one that enables to connect the bridge through different realities. But all these realities are going within the planet. To take them outside the planet to the surface, you need to open the door of Shiva, to open the door of the divine that is inside, so people can see the divine within, the light of it. And in order to do that, the Atlanteans created the path through the Nile. Imagine the Nile being like the edge of the door that opens or closes, okay? So we all walk through the Nile in order to feel the edge of that door. And in the middle of that door, you have the place where you put the key. So if this is the door, okay, you have the knob here, yeah, to open it. You have the knob here. So this territory here is where you put the key, which is in the south of Egypt. And this is the place, this is the middle point where the first people, the first Atlanteans, started to create the initiatic path. So every initiatic path was how to open the door properly, from within to the outside, from the outside to within. So all the practices that we do in the Nile are not just connected to Egypt. They are connected to Atlantis and the crack in the Atlantic Ocean. They are connected to the deep void of Sri Lanka and Tibet. So there are different systems around, and also above, like the one in Crimea and the Black Sea. So all these doors that needs to open are keys to repair the machine of time, basically, which means to bring balance and harmony again. That's why today I was talking about harmonization, to find harmony in between all the different parts. Because now the planet is like this. Everyone is playing a different song. Everyone is playing different sounds. Because from the moment that time was broken, we all got outside of ourselves. And that's why we created a ripple in time and space, that we are trapped in the constant suffering of every trauma, because breaking the time is the trauma of reality. Is one of the biggest wounds of reality. So all this past time, all this 2023, personally, about recognizing all this, is to understand why are we all coming constantly to Egypt, which is not because of the Atlanteans, it's because from the future, they are sending us messages to the present to fix time, to repair the past, so we can bring the past to the future by healing it in the present. And it's all related to the quantum mechanics, not spirituality. So we have to understand how a particle works in order to awaken the spirit. And the spirit is basically this inner fire inside an atom. And when you break the atom, what you have is an atomic bomb. But when you break the particles that form an atom, what you have is a time bomb. Yeah, so the destruction of space is breaking an atom. The destruction of time is breaking the particles that form an atom. And when we started to do that as humans, we created parallel realities of this humanity. So we are living now one timeline or a reality that is not bad, but everyone feels uncomfortable with it, isn't it? And the reason why we all feel uncomfortable is because it's not the line that we were supposed to live. Because we are all out of our place in the grid.
And when you say not supposed to by what term, by what structure, by what...
Metatron. Metatron's cube. That's why we are talking about Metatron. The bull and the cow. To make it maybe simple, let's say, it's like if you have been... You are, I don't know, in the States, living in, I don't know, Florida, and you work and you decide that I'm going to have a holiday. So my holiday is going to be to go to India. I want to go to India in a holiday. So you start to read about India, you start to understand what India is, you start to meditate, to go read some guru's information on anything. And so you enter in the energy of what India is, so you can go there. You buy the ticket, you buy the proper clothes, it's going to be hot, and then you take off. And while you are flying, somehow a hurricane appears in front of the Bahamas. And it cannot cross the ocean, so it has to make a turn. But there's not enough fuel. So you go, and you have to head to Europe. But there's another storm there, and you have to turn around, and suddenly you land in Oslo, in Norway. And it's cold. And you have only clothes for India. And you weren't prepared for that, and suddenly you are in a very cold culture, very different from what you were expecting, and you have to survive there until you can find another ticket to go to India. So you're not going to go to India from Florida now. You have to find a different way, and you don't have the clothes, the preparation. You have no idea about the culture. You have no idea why you are there. So basically, now it's your destiny, but it wasn't supposed to be your destiny, just because something happened in the middle that changed it. This is normal in reality. But when it's about time, it's like I'm going to India now to a 5-star hotel to experience enlightenment with a guru in some place, and suddenly you took the flight, but suddenly you land in Norway 900 years ago with Vikings fucking each other, killing each other, and you say, this is not the Norway that I expected, no? So basically that's breaking time. So you not only not have the proper clothes, it's even worse than that. You don't have any way to survive. You know what I mean? So when you create a net, Metatron's net, you have, for example, this structure. So that's the main structure of Metatron. So you are here, and you are planning to go here, because this is your tension. Okay, so that's your tension. That is the tung to create your experience. But if something is broken here, maybe you do this. And suddenly, instead of creating your perfect tension for this reality, you are breaking it into another one. And suddenly, you start to exist in a totally different reality.
Has this happened before?
Yeah, in other planets. Yeah.
Other planets?
Yeah, of course. The thing is that in the 7th dimension, nobody cares. In the 7th dimension, they are like the electrons, like, it's all energy, light, power, and basically, when you enter the 7th dimension, you are all this. So you are not even going like this. You know, like in the 3rd dimension, you're going step by step by step by step by step to go to the other side. Life after life after life after life to go to the other side. In the 7th dimension, you are all that. So if you go this way or that way, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. For the 7th dimension, that's not a problem. For the 6th dimension, it's like, oh, there's another way. So now someone created another option. So let's see what happens. It's evolution. From the 5th dimension point of view of this is, so now we have more data, more information, so we can understand better what we are capable of. From the 4th dimension is like, I have no idea what is happening, so let's try to hang from somewhere, and whatever happens, we will try to fix it. And from the point of the 3rd dimension is, I'm happy, I'm suffering. I'm happy, I'm suffering. I don't know what to do. I'm lost. So you're trapped. Exactly. So you're trapped because for the 3rd dimension, it takes millions of years to go to the other side, when for the 7th dimension, there are no millions of years. It's already there. So the problem here is when you have designed a way, a path from the 3rd dimension to reach somewhere, and suddenly it breaks it. So we are here not because trying to fix the 7th dimension. We are here to try to repair something that broke the 4th dimension through the 3rd dimension, and that is messing up with the 5th one. So, but for the 6th and the 7th dimension, it's like, all is good. Everything's fine. So when you go even more, 8th or 9th dimension, this is not even a problem. Not even an idea. The feeling of being trapped is something that we usually have in the 3rd dimension because our creation relies on pressure. I think we talked about this first day. Our existence relies on pressure. So we have been designed to go outside of ourselves in order to transform ourselves. And not only being born, but the cells. So a cell, by meiosis first, divides itself. So it goes out from itself to create another one. Then by mitosis, replicates that everywhere. So from the very origin of our first cell, we are programmed to escape from where we are to become something else. And that creates our entire history of breaking the egg, being born from outside the mother, go out from our home, try to escape a way of thinking. So we have been built genetically in all our history in order to break something to exist. Basically, the word exist means to go away from where you are. So from our point of view in our psychology, existence means I have to go outside from where I am to a different position. That's the word existence for us. So we perceive that we cannot exist unless we escape from somewhere. That's our psychology. We perceive that I cannot just be here. In order to acknowledge that I am someone, I have to move forward. I have to say, I am going somewhere. I am traveling in my life. I am meeting something different. I am changing my perspective to see something different. So from that point of view, what we are constantly doing is escaping something, escaping from some reality. So suddenly, when you become aware about this system, you say, I cannot escape reality. How can I escape the planet? Well, I can build a spaceship, but how can I escape time? You're trapped in time. You're trapped in every reality. So suddenly, it's something that you cannot control. Because breaking the egg to go outside and breathe, breaking waters and going outside the womb, that's kind of easy now for us. But breaking space to go to time, breaking time to go to the void, that's another level. So it was very difficult the first time that the cell divided. It was very difficult the first time that we had to break an egg. It was very difficult the first time that as a mammal we had to go outside from the womb. That's a lot of pressure. But now we are thinking, how can I escape the earth? And even more, how can I escape my body if the only way is death? Can I escape time? So it's the next step of evolution. So we have improved different ways of escaping, different ways of existing. So we will constantly find something else from what we have to escape from or exist from. And that's scary, because in our cells, in our evolution, going outside of ourselves means that it's dangerous, that it can be terrible, because it's something that I don't understand, I don't know, I've never been there before. So that's why it's terrible to think about it. But we all together, we are starting to, for example, when we all thought we cannot escape reality, so someone said, well, maybe someday we will live in the reality of God. So we created heaven. And now we say, but what is heaven? Maybe there are many different heavens, and we created the idea of dimensions. And how can I escape from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, and from the fourth to the fifth one, and so on? So it's so desperate because it's too big. It's a lot. And then when you are in the dimensions, you say, maybe there are parallel realities. And what if this universe is not the only one, and I can escape this universe and create another one? It's infinite, constant. So that's why the best practice of all of it is go back to the void, where there is nowhere to escape, which is go to the meditation. That's why Buddha said, it's too much. What if instead of trying to understand how to exist, I stop existing? Maybe it's closer, maybe it's faster, than actually try to exist from one reality to another. I stop existing. And if I stop existing, I'm void, and suddenly you become divine. Because you are everywhere, and in every time. But the practice of not existing means release the ego. And the ego is not, as I said yesterday, is not about I am an egoistic person. Release the ego is I don't exist. I have nothing to be attached to. Nothing in this reality is true. And you can decide to suffer that reality of saying nothing exists, like you said yesterday. Like, really? You are telling me that this is nothing? And scientifically, you can say, yes, 99.99% of reality is not true. It doesn't exist. It's just a perception of your mind. So, when you relax 99.99%, you are diving in the speed of light. And you become an electron inside a cable. And that's so fun. So happy. It's like samadhi.
Just relax.
It's relax. And because I was telling all this, we have to fix time. Isn't this terrible? Like before it was like, we have to just sing inside the pyramid to find balance. And suddenly we have to fix time. It's like, fuck off. Like I'm going back home. This is getting weirder. But the thing is that the reason why we do that, why I say all this, is to remind us that this is huge. That is not something just, let's solve a problem. No, it's something that is everywhere, in every dimension, that we have created ripples of this in all the different realities as possible. So it's impossible to fix it in a weekend. So it's impossible to say, I have to do it. And I'm just sharing all this story because when you feel so much responsibility of knowing that the whole universe depends on how we do something, suddenly so much pressure that the last thought that you have is, fuck it. I don't care. Huh? Yes. I'm just messing up with your souls. So you just say, I can't deal with it. So you have two decisions here. It's too much. I cannot deal with it. So I have two options. Suffer because it's too much and I cannot accomplish, or relax and become the void. And when you become the void, you will perceive, okay, I can do anything, but it's not on me, it's on everyone. So it's just about me doing one movement, and the others will move, and the others will move, and so on. So it doesn't take for me to fix time, like the first story that I explained to you. I was just sitting there, and Excalibur came to me. You know, I wasn't even looking for her. I was like, okay, if she has to come, I'm here. And boom, appear. So you become the void, and everything becomes you, instead of you trying to escape it. So that's why when you have this thinking of, I am trapped, the only way to escape is in. Because every time that you try to go out, there is another layer, another layer, another layer. Because you are moving ripples in time. All the time. Every movement you do, woof, create another one.
So it's this
And the tree is like,
I don't want expectation.
yeah, and suddenly you see the tree of life, and the tree of reality is so many roots, so many branches, so many leaves, that you say, it's too much. What is the first one? What should I do? It happens to me all the time. Like, what is the first thing? So just go to the center, and the information that I need according to my resonance now will come to me. So it's the opposite. And you will be doing it, fixing it, by locating yourself where you are supposed to be. So which is this one. By locating yourself where you're supposed to be, you start to fix the ripple. So suddenly, all the forces will go to you. So you start to become a point of gravity. When a particle tries to go there, it needs a lot of energy, and it moves everything around. But when a particle becomes the center, it creates a point of gravity, so everything starts to come to it. It creates balance. So this is me, and suddenly, goes to you.